Welcome to Workday Training for Managers. In this session, we will cover how to process employee job changes in Workday. The change job business process is used to process employee job changes in Workday, such as a lateral transfer to another manager, a lateral move within the employee's current team, a change in full-time, part-time status, or a promotion. This process essentially replaces the paper payroll status change form. As a manager, you can initiate the change job process for your team members. HR partners and recruiters can also initiate the change job process. Once initiated, job changes will go through a series of HR and manager reviews and approvals depending on the type of change initiated. Let's jump into Workday and walk through an example. I'm now logged in as a manager. One of my team members is transferring to another position. As the current or sending manager, I will initiate the change job process. I'll go to the My Team worklet, select the employee who is transferring, go to the Related Actions menu, select Job Change, and Transfer, Promote, or Change Job. This will bring me to the initiation screen of the change job process. There's some help text here, along with a change job matrix that you can use as a guide to selecting the correct reason for why you're making this job change. First up is the Start section. I can click the edit icon here to populate the information. The first question is, when do you want this change to take effect? This is the effective date of the change. It will default to the next pay period and you can adjust as needed. The next question, why are you making this change? I'm going to click on the prompt to select my reason. The reasons are categorized by data changes, lateral move, promotion, or transfer. For this example, this is a transfer. I'm going to select transfer and then move to another manager. The next field, who will be the manager after this change? To change the manager, I can either search for the new manager's name or I can use the prompt. I'm going to go ahead and search for the new manager. Which team will this person be on after this change? Again, I can use the prompt or I can search. Where will this person be located after this change? To change the work location, I can again search for the new location or use the prompt. In this example, this employee's work location is not changing, so I'm going to leave this field as displayed. And finally, do you want to use the next pay period? This box is automatically checked if you are using the next pay period start date for the effective date. If you change the effective date, this box will automatically uncheck. Going to click the check mark to save the information entered and click Start to continue. The next section is the Move section, and because I am moving an employee to a different manager, this section is where I can indicate what I would like to do with the opening that will be left on my team. I can click on the edit icon to see my options. My options are, I plan to backfill this headcount. This is the default option and most commonly used. By selecting this option, when the employee moves to their new position, their old position will be left as an open seat to be backfilled. I can also move this headcount to the new manager, or I can close this headcount, meaning that I will not be backfilling this position. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to backfill this headcount. Click Next to continue. This is the attachment section. I can click Add here to add any supporting documentation for the job change. Click Next to continue. And finally, this is the summary of the information I have entered. I'll review my entries. I can use the edit icon here to make any edits. And finally, I can click Submit to complete this step in the business process and kick off this change job process. When I click Submit, you'll see that up next is a review by the receiving manager. So the next step in the process is going to the receiving manager, the manager to whom this employee is transferring. So let's take a look at what the receiving manager will see. I'm now logged in as Mary Ann, the receiving manager for this job change. Going to go to Mary Ann's inbox, and you'll see that she has a task for this transfer, for the transfer of Carol Bell. Here's the information that the sending manager has already populated: the effective date, the reason, the manager. If I need to make edits, I can again click on the edit icon here. And now there's also these new sections that I'll need to complete as the receiving manager. I'm going to click on the Guide Me button here, which will take me to a guided editor. It's a somewhat cleaner view of this process. Position. This displays the employee's current position. For this example, I'm going to click on the edit icon, and I'm going to check the box off for do you want to create a new position. Since I currently don't have an open position or an open seat, I need to check this box to create that seat to move this employee into. Click the check mark to save that information. Job profile. To select a new job profile, I'm going to click on the edit icon and use the prompt. And I'm going to select in this organization, which will give me a list of positions in my organization. Managers will only have access to job profiles in their current organization. If there is a need to select a job profile that is not currently in your organization, you will need to work with your HR partner to complete this job change. I'm going to select Outlet Sales Associate as this employee's new position, new job profile for their new position. The job title and the business title will default based on the job profile that was selected. Click Next to continue. This section contains information about the employee's location. If the location was changing, you would see that happening here. In our example, the work location is not changing, so I'm going to confirm that this is the correct location. Scheduled weekly hours is where you can change the employee's hours. The hours entered here are what will calculate the employee's FTE, or full-time equivalency. As you can see right now, Carol's scheduled weekly hours are 20, meaning she is a part-time employee. With this job change, she's actually also changing to full-time, so I'm going to edit those hours and change them to 40 to indicate that she is a full-time employee. Work shift is optional, so I'll leave that empty. I'm going to click Next to move to the details section. This section contains the employee's job details. Most of these fields will auto-populate, so you want to confirm for accuracy and make changes if applicable. The important fields to look at are employee type. My choices here are regular or intern. So this is a regular employee. Time type is important. This indicates full-time or part-time, and it works in conjunction with the weekly scheduled hours that we just updated. So you can see previously the employee was part-time, so I need to update this as well to full-time. Pay rate type will auto-populate based on the job profile, so no changes are needed here. I'm going to click Next to continue. And the attachment section, I can click the Add button to upload any relevant documents or supporting documentation here. I'm going to click Next to continue. Organizations, this section displays the employees' organizations based on their new supervisory organization. Company will auto-populate. No changes are needed here. The cost center should also auto-populate. You do want to verify this for accuracy. The red X is telling me that this cost center was removed and we're adding a new cost center. If changes are needed, you can click on the edit icon. Next to continue. To the compensation section. This section will display the employee's current compensation information. If their compensation is changing as part of this job change, I will need to edit to make the applicable changes. The total base pay here will update accordingly based on the hourly information entered below. There are some compensation guidelines that will display. Because this job profile is hourly, I'm seeing the hourly section here. To make changes to the hourly rate, I'll click on the edit icon. And update the hourly rate. I can enter the new amount. I can enter an amount change or a percent change. These three fields work together, so whatever field you choose to enter, the other two fields will update accordingly. So the new hourly rate as part of this job change is going to be $12. And the rest of the information will again auto-populate based on that job profile that was selected. Next to continue. And here is my summary screen. This is a review of all of the information that has been entered to date. I can scroll through, or I can click on the Guide Me button to go to that guided editor view. When I get to the summary and I've reviewed my entries, I'm going to click Approve to complete this step in the business process and move the process forward. Next up, you'll see is Cindy Johnson. Cindy Johnson is the HR partner for the new manager, Mary Ann. She is next up in the process. As mentioned before, job changes will go through a series of HR and manager reviews and approvals depending on the type of change initiated. To summarize, the change job business process is used to process employee job changes in Workday. As a manager, you can initiate job changes for your team. Job changes will go through a series of HR and manager reviews and approvals. This concludes the session on employee job changes in Workday.